Morning, Your Honor.
So you, you have I did this morning, Mr. Daly. All right, Mr. Haybecker.
Yes.
So Mr. Haybecker, come up to the podium. Mr. Glazier is required to go to Judge Olsaver first.
Okay.
So if you notice, we rotate attorneys and Mr. Glazier comes to my court second. So this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Anthony Scott Haybecker, file number 24-21817FH, 24-21818FH, 24-21819FH, and we also have Tammy Haybecker versus Anthony Haybecker, file number 23-51303PP. I have John Glazier appearing on behalf of Mr. Haybecker, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for pretrial on all these files. So, Mr. Glazier, how do you wish to proceed with Mr. Haybecker today?
Mr. Haybecker sent me some lengthy requests that I can't meet until he comes in and actually meets with me in person in my office. So I'd asked to adjourn it enough time to let him come in and see me.
Okay, so Mr. Haybecker, are you able, I don't know your schedule, are you able to schedule a time to go meet with Mr. Glazier?
I was hoping to see him after this.
Well, I don't know if he's available today, but you usually would call his office and set up a time to go meet with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not available. Yeah, I'm not available today, but he can call and set up to see me still this week or next week.
Can you do that? Do you have the number at a public defender's office?
I sure do.
All right, excellent. So Ms. Adams, I'm going to need a notice of hearing on this file as well for Mr. Haybecker. So Mr. Glazier, my next available pretrial is I have December 11, December 18, or January 8.
December 11th would be fine, Your Honor.
Is that good for you?
Every time.
All right, so Ms. Adams, could I get a notice for Mr. Haybecker for a pretrial notice for December 11 at 8:30 in the morning?
Yes.
Okay, any objection to that, Mr. Steen?
Your Honor, just speaking with Miss McClure, she was under the impression the case would be set for trial if he didn't plead today. But if the court wants to push it out to the 11th, I don't believe we have any objection.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Glazier will set it for pretrial December 11, and if it's not resolved by that point, we'll set it for trial. All right.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. So, Mr. Haybecker, if you just want to have a seat there or at the bench behind you, we'll get you a notice of hearing, okay?
Okay, there's also a motion to terminate or modify a PPO as well.
There is a motion to terminate or modify the PPO. Let's see, where's that? There it is. Okay. So you filed a motion to modify or terminate the personal protection order on file number 23-51303PP. That was originally set for hearing back in like September, and then it got adjourned October 16th, and then Mr. Mawad withdrew as your attorney on September 30th. And let's see, modifying. Respondent moves to modify the PPO already taken issue with the fact there are 3 counties he cannot enter, and he is prohibited from being on social media. So are you represented on this file at all?
I was told that I couldn't have an attorney represent me in respects to a modified termination of the PPO.
Okay, I know, but Mr. Mawad withdrew.
Right.
So you didn't hire anybody else?
No.
Okay.
I
Okay.
was hoping that they would actually be set apart. It was Mr. Mawad's, basically his intention to fast track this as much as possible and save gas, quote unquote. And that's not my concern at all with him. And so I didn't want basically the pretrial taking precedent over the motion to appeal or terminate PPO, which I've been patiently waiting for 3 years to speak to you and make a statement briefly. in respects to what's been happening over the past 3 years and what actually happened in the last termination / PPO modification of the PPO hearing, which something I had said had been interpreted as a threat in court, a hearing that I desired to have, and that something was certainly taken out of context, and I wasn't allowed to elaborate on what that comment was, because what truly was occurring, and I had mentioned, if I could just, it's within the statement, it's brief.
You got to speak up because you're kind of,
I'm sorry.
okay. So, Mr. Sneed, Miss McClure is the prosecutor on this file. Is she available?
She was in the middle of a plea in Judge Olsaver's court, Your Honor. If it is going to be set for a hearing, she was asking for December or January, or not to be in December or January due to her trial schedule. If you'd like to pass the matter, I can have her appear to address the court on that.
Okay. And I think the basic gist of what you're asking is because you have a family member and right now at this point, you can't enter Emmett, Charlevoix, or Sheboygan, right?
Or Emmett, she banned me from 3 counties in which she claims to live in Bayview, which is just a small.
I signed the order,
I'm
so,
sorry.
yeah. All right,
Yeah.
so let's see if we can get Miss McClure. It's a Wednesday morning. And so this violation of the motion to modify the PPO has kind of been set over with your criminal files because they're kind of interrelated. Do you understand that?
Certainly.
And so if we're gonna do a full-blown hearing on this, which is fine, and I actually have more time now because I had a big trial settle, but we would have to set a time where we have time to take testimony. And I believe you might have had a witness with you today.
I don't.
Somebody in the hallway? Okay. So I could set this for a time. Here's your notice of hearing on the criminal ones. Okay. I can set this, Mr. Sneed, in November for about an hour so that we could get the petitioner here as well. Mr. Sneed.
Thank you, Judge. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so Mr. Sneed can verify her schedule. So let me see, I got news on the 12th. 1 hour at 1:30. Did have some stuff open up. So,
Would that be an evidentiary hearing? Wonderful. Is it possible to separate the 2 matters as far as different?
it would just be the PPO.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah, just the PPO,
thank you very much.
not the criminal stuff.
That's great.
Attorney hearings. So, Mr. Sneed, I suspect that perhaps Mr. Ladd will plead out. Would Ms. McClure be available at 9 a.m. on Tuesday, November 19?
Yes, she would be.
And that would be enough time to get the petitioner Tammy Bannon subpoenaed. So are you available Tuesday, November 19th at 9 a.m.?
I am.
Okay, so Ms. Adams, could we do a notice of hearing for file number 23-51303PP for November 19 at 9 a.m.?
I'm sorry, is there any way that we could push it out 1 more week past the 22nd?
Well, we lose our prosecutor. She's gone, so because of trials.
I'm done with an ILP program on the 22nd. So that would
Okay.
be great,
Oh,
because-
hold on, let me see. I could do this one review that day. I could. Mr. Sneed, would Miss McClure be available November 27 at 11? I don't see it's Thanksgiving week is the next week
Right,
and we're closed. But let's see if Miss McClure is available November 27 at 11.
Yes.
All right, Miss Adams, I apologize. Let's do November 27 at 11. And that'll give us 1 hour, okay?
Wonderful.
Yep, and we'll get you a notice of hearing for that. Oh, there's Miss McClure.
I'm
Hi.
sorry, I was dental savers.
No, it's okay. So Miss McClure, on Bannon versus Haybecker, he's asking for a hearing on it, which is fine.
Okay.
I know that we have crazy trials going in, December and, January, but Mr. Sneed says you're available for 1 hour on November 27 at 11 a.m.
And just to clarify, that's a hearing on the motion to modify the PPO, is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, on what date? I'm sorry.
November 27 at 11 a.m. I misspoke, 11 a.m.
Yeah, that should be fine.
Okay, we'll only have an hour, but that's all I ever give for these motions.
Yeah, I don't think it needs to be very
Yeah.
long.
So, that means if you have any evidence that you're gonna be submitting that day, you need to make sure to provide a copy to Ms. McClure.
As you had said, the criminal case in this hearing collaborate, or they overlap, if you will. And what's going on between Mr. Glazer and myself is that he's going to be subpoenaing certain evidence.
Mr. Glazier's not on this spot.
I understand that, but there is certain evidence in which she's going to be asking the court that we can retrieve that would be beneficial to the termination or modification of the PPO.
So that doesn't give him a lot of time to get that. Right?
I've been on tether for 6 months now, and there's no,
Do you
Danger.
have those items?
what's that? As
You
far-
said there's some evidence that you'd want to submit on
That
this.
would be evidence that would need to be subpoenaed.
Okay, that doesn't give us enough time by November 27th.
Okay, then could we put it out to where we'd have ample time?
Yeah, but that'll take us into January. Well, you got a trial.
It seems like I have a trial every week in
Well,
January.
let's start looking. So we're gonna look in January, okay? Miss Adams, I'm looking for about an hour in January, please. It could be at 11 on a Wednesday if Miss McClure is not in trial, but you can either bring me the book and I'll start checking dates with Miss McClure.
Just to be clear, Mr. Hibaker knows that this isn't a motion for the violation, it's just to modify
Yeah,
or terminate.
Yeah.
Okay, and what is the requested modification?
well, okay, so my understanding is that, and we had a conversation about this before, is that he has like he's doing an IOP, he needs to graduate. And maybe this is something that can be resolved, but.
That's kind of what I'm getting at, I
Yeah,
guess.
so I
don't
guess
know that
let's
it
talk
needs to
about
be
it.
an evidentiary.
So can you tell me, you want to modify to allow you to enter some of those counties, right?
Yes, ma'am, but it's more than just that. It's been 3 years in the making. I've patiently been waiting to get a moment of your time. I haven't been able
No,
to say anything on record whatsoever.
Okay, so I don't want you to at this point yet, because we're not having an evidentiary hearing. Your motion to modify is because you want entry into some of those counties, right?
And terminate, because there's reasons for this PPO to be terminated and has been from its origin.
Okay, but do you understand, because some of your new charges, they involve the petitioner and the PPO, right?
Correct.
Do you understand these events that are alleged in these other files? Let's go back. And I just want to make sure, Mr. Haybecker, in some ways, I'm trying to protect you, because anything you say in my court can be used against you, anything.
And I'm fine.
So I don't want you to talk about any of the events that occurred on your criminal charges, because you don't have an attorney advising you as to what you can and cannot say, and you are a layperson. So if you were to talk about the event that occurred in a file after the entry of a PPO, then you very well could be, because this PPO was entered on December 19th of 23. So in one of your file, there's events of July 16th of 23 and December 21 of 2023. And another one is, let's see, June 14th of 23. This PPO again was entered on, let me go back there. Where'd it go? It was modified as well, but some of these may have coincided. Do you understand?
Correct.
And so in light of the fact that you have these charges, I can assure you that more likely than not, I'm not going to terminate a PPO with pending criminal cases, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
But Ms. McClure is saying, hey, let's talk about the modification part of it. We can reserve the termination part of it. But if you want to discuss the modification part of it, we may be able to resolve that today.
It's fuller than just that. And I've thought through my words carefully so that I didn't implicate myself in any sort of manner.
Right.
And what I would be about to say. And matter of fact, that is the reason why I would want to do what I want to do today in reading this brief statement, is so that there isn't anyone intermediating, I suppose, between what I've been trying to say for 3 years.
Okay, so if we're gonna proceed that way, it has to be at a hearing where the petitioner is present,
Okay,
okay?
that's fine.
Okay, so I have the 25 book.
I do have the petitioner here today, but I don't know what your schedule looks like to hear from. I
mean, I can do it.
Yeah, I just wanted to know the scope of this, so I knew how to prepare. But if the
Okay.
court wants to hear
I have
the
time.
petitioner is
I
here.
don't have anything.
Okay, yeah. so
Can
let
we
me-
take a break though? Because we've been going nonstop. since
Yeah,
8 o'clock.
absolutely.
All right, so we're gonna take a 5-minute, are you ready to go today?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna take a break so we can step off the bench and everybody can go to the restroom because we've been going nonstop.
Yeah,
And so give us about 5-10 minutes, all right, Mr. Haybecker?
Okay.
It's 10:42, so we've definitely got an hour. I'm waiting on Rhonda Underwood on two other matters, and she is in Judge Olsavers.
okay,
So when she's ready, I might have to take a recess
okay.
and go to those. Miss Adams, I'm gonna make you a co-host. Just to let me know when Miss Underwood gets here. So we'll leave those files here.
Back in 5-10 minutes.
Yeah, about 5. We'll be good about 5. All right, Mr. Norman, I promise I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, can I, all right, I got Mr. Norman.
Oh, you have Mr. Norman?
Yeah, let me call the jail and get Mr. Reed.
Gilbert,
Hi, this is Judge Ann Sloan again. So I am ready for Rio Reed.
Rio Reed.
Yeah,
All right, we'll get him around.
all right, thank you. So close. So close.
We try.
Hold on, Mr. Reed. Miss Underwood just walked in. You good there, Joanne?
Yep, thank you.
Well, I'm just telling you that's a bad thing. He's done it before. He's done it multiple times.
Your Honor, I'll talk to Mr.
All right, come back here and Mr. Norman, she's gonna come back and log on and then I'll put you guys in a breakout room.
Okay.
And then we'll take our recess. So Miss Spade, I tried to book Zolantos to cater and they are booked for my day.
You're kidding.
And let me see. So I gotta find somebody else. Mary Lobster.
She wants that's good food.
Huh,
She wants that's good food.
all day, every day?
Yeah.
Well, we were thinking about doing Middle Eastern too,
Oh, yeah.
so,
Oh, that's good.
so.
That's a bummer.
No. All right, hold on, she's logging in. We had a lot of pleas today, a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah. I like doing trials too, though, so. There she is. I got her back. All right. So, Mr. Norman, I will put you and Miss Underwood into a breakout room and give you a couple minutes to talk.
Okay.
So, hold on and go. Fine. All right, go ahead and click on join. If you get stuck in the room, don't worry about it. I'll bring you back out, okay? Some
Okay.
people get stuck. There you go. Thanks.
Hello.
You don't have to try out the modification. Yeah, just then we do it. When we even hire one. Are you okay talking with me about that?
Is that okay? Like, we can stay?
I don't care, I'm not saying you can't read to the judge, I just want to come up with some sort of agreement on what you want. I know you want to terminate it, that's when we're going to do that. But as far as an application goes, what are you looking for, so I can take come up with an agreement?
I think it's best.
Okay. No, that's okay.
This is not a personal truth. This is a factual truth. Just a truth. I wouldn't throw my feelings into this.
Okay.
Your Honor, the simple approval that has been initially lied to multiple times to attend and routine this review is enough to terminate.
What up, what?
Russell? This is not almost too close. Terminate. So, I think that I'm sure that we can- there's one statement that who's country. Pictures of the World Travelers Commission from control rooms. She was a control raising of them. She feels so comfortable. That's why she can no longer have control of the treatment center. We have lived. Home church that helps baptize that. We want to move it over the hills. We might start to have a relationship.
Hi, Rhonda. Rhonda, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. You're saying that you sort of,
I feel very old and very sad.
yeah, yeah. But the judge said, justice is good. Justice is good. So, the Supreme Court, you know. I don't know. I haven't heard. I think so. Is that still, they hadn't called my last night. She was a little bit. I haven't heard that. Have you? I don't know. I haven't heard that. Yeah, I haven't. I haven't either.
Now it won't be.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
This is how best for she was to pin something. So
I have a couple responses, but just, she didn't tell me. But she would then. Well.
it's not true. Matter.
I'm just-
She's open. I can't.
Yes.
All rise, please. The United Circuit Court's back in session.
So Miss Underwood. We're back. Hi, I'm gonna take Mr. Norman first because he's been hanging out with me since like 8 o'clock this morning. So in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Amir Norman, file number 24-21913 FH, I have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. Norman and Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date time set for pre-trial. So Ms. Underwood, how do you want to proceed with Mr. Norman?
Your Honor, if we could have an adjournment of about a month, you know, we're just determining whether or not.
Can I do, so my month is filling up. would December 18 be okay? 2 months?
That's fine.
Mr. Norman, would it be all right, December 18?
Yes.
All right, so Mr. Norman, I'm gonna set this over to December 18 at 8:30 in the morning. Ms. Underwood, you'll do the step in order to adjourn.
I will.
And Mr. Sneed, can she sign your name with permission?
Yes, thank you.
And Mr. Norman, you're still on Sweet Cherry Lane?
Yes. Would it be the same meeting ID?
Yep, same meeting ID, so write the date down. Miss Underwood will mail out the stip in order to you, but if you don't get it, just remember it's December 18 at 8:30, okay?
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you, Mr. Norman. All right, Mr. Reed, I have Mr. Reed. Are you ready on Mr. Reed?
Your Honor, I believe Mr. Reed has matters in district court.
Hold on, let me call the case first. So this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Rio Reed, file number 23-21349FH. I have Ms. Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. Reed and Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for probation violation pretrial and failure to appear. And the probation violation is Ms. Underwood was alleging, no, actually the probation violation is just failure to report on July 2nd and 9. That's the only violation I have against them. So what were you gonna say about district court?
Mr. Reed, I believe you have new charges in district court. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. I ain't went to court for him yet.
What are they?
I think there's a resisting an arrest and some other things, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I think so. But I've been arraigned, but I haven't been to court yet.
When's your next court date? Do you know, Mr. Reed?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
I think Friday. I think it's like a pre-trial. I can't remember.
It's Friday, Judge.
Okay, is that a probable cause or a pretrial?
I think probable cause.
Yes, it's probable cause.
So, Mr. Reed, and Ms. Underwood, you want me to set this over a couple weeks?
Yes, I do.
All right, so Mr. Reed, I'm gonna set this over 2 weeks, just so we can figure out what's going on your charge downstairs. So let's do November 20th. November 20th at 8, let's do 8 a.m. and get them in and out. So we'll do November 20 at 8 a.m. and we send out the notice because it's a probation violation, all right? So Mr.
Okay.
Reed, we'll have you back on that day. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. All right, so that does conclude our criminal docket today. Thank you, Ms. Underwood.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
Thank you.
I don't think so. Ms.